What's up, y'all? I said, what's up, y'all? Look at me when I'm talking to you, bro. Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. It's Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and we in here. So check this out, bro. Before I get going on today's video, y'all know what to do. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and share the video, bro. If you come through and watch the video, be sure to hit that like button. Put your seatbelt on when you hop in my car. Also, comment down below so we can chop it up and talk boxing. I love talking boxing with y'all, but I can't do it unless you leave a comment. So be sure to comment down below. And if you want to have me hop on a panel or you want to collaborate with me, reach out to me on my email address at knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com. Again, that email address is knockoutboxing, the number 8, the number 6, @yahoo.com. But without further ado, let's get it popping and get into today's video. And today, I want to talk to y'all about something that's going on in boxing, something that fans here on YouTube are talking about, and something that that content creators are making videos on. And that's this whole notion of criticizing boxers, bro. This whole notion of criticizing boxers. I'm here to tell you that, in my opinion, whether you rock with a boxer heavy, whether you really favor a boxer or support a boxer, there isn't a single fighter. There isn't a single fighter that is above criticism, bro. There isn't a single fighter that doesn't warrant some level of criticism for one way or another, bro. And as a content creator, as someone that talks about boxing on here, I feel like it's my responsibility. I feel like it's all of our responsibilities, right? To call it what it is, bro, and keep it real regardless of whether or not you support a fighter. And you have people that are really, really supportive of different fighters that don't criticize them. And I don't like that shit. I don't think that shit is right. I don't think it does anything. And I think it creates false narratives. And I think it creates a false sense of who this fighter really is and what this fighter really is as a person. So let's talk about it a little bit, because the main thing that's sparking this conversation right now, the main thing that's going on with YouTube, people are making videos about this, people are making reaction videos, people are making reaction videos to reaction videos, is about this whole notion of Canelo Alvarez, right? You have a certain segment of the population that believes Canelo Alvarez deserves no criticism for anything whatsoever. And if you criticize him, you're a race baiter, you're a race hustler, you're a piece of garbage, you're satanic, right? You're an animal. These are all things that I've seen here on YouTube over the past couple of days that I want to address, bro, because I believe no fighter is above criticism. I believe if you go to Jamal Charlo, I criticize him for this David Benavidez shit. I criticize him for this Montel fight. You know what I'm saying? Gervonta Davis, I think he needs to be mature. There are other fights that I wanted to see him in way more than this Barrios fight. I want to see him unify at 130. I want to see him fight the top names at 135 first. That's what I wanted. And I'm well documented on saying that if you just go check my catalog. I've criticized Terrence Bud Crawford. I've criticized Earl Spence. You know, and the list goes on and on. No fighter is above criticism. That includes some of you guys as king, some of you guys as God, Canelo Alvarez, bro. What he's doing at 168 is to be respected. What he's doing at 168 is to be given props for. And I give him props for that. Put on a hell of a performance against Billy Joe Saunders. That shit can't be taken away. You know, the next fight for him needs to be Caleb Plant. Can't be taken away. You know what I mean? He needs to be going for undisputed at 168. But me, I look at your resume as a whole, bro. I look at every move that you make. When I'm assessing you, when I'm talking about you, when I'm making videos on you, or I'm hopping on panels and talking about you, bro. And it's a fair criticism. It's beyond fair for me to say, yo, you were a champion in 3 other weight classes before you came to 168. You were champion at 154, you were champion at 160, and you were champion at 175. Why didn't you go for undisputed in those weight classes? Then me, objectively looking at the fighters in these different weight classes, I come to the conclusion, and it's my opinion, right, that he didn't do that because the road to undisputed for those weight classes are much more difficult. In my opinion, I think the fighters are better. I think the road is stiffer. And when you look at the man's actions, not his words, when you look at his actions, he was 1 fight away from undisputed at 160 pounds. He didn't want to fight Andrade. You feel what I'm saying? And all of that stuff, y'all, people try to say about a mandatory or whatever. If he had made a fight with Andrade for undisputed to unify, we all know Canelo gets what he wants and gets to do what he wants to do. And that shit would have trumped any mandatory or any other thing that he would have had going on. But he didn't want to fight Andrade. Right? And so, to me, that's being fair, bro. That's something that can be talked about. And if you want to call me a race baiter because I point that shit out, which is just a fact, like it ain't me hating on him. You know what I'm saying? It's a fair criticism. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, what was up with this? Or if I say, yo, you jumped up to 175 just to cherry pick a belt, bro. You saw how Kovalev looked against Anthony Yarde. Anthony Yarde almost knocked his ass out. You feel what I'm saying? You saw how weak he was to the body. You saw some shit you could take advantage of. And you jumped up to 175, got a belt, jumped back down, and dropped the belt. Why didn't you want to unify there? And so when I say, well, it's because, shit, the Bivol Beterbiev is a much tougher undisputed route. Shit, it's a much tougher undisputed route than Callum Smith, Billy Joe, and Caleb Plant. Or if I say, shit, Andrade, and then possibly having to fight Charlo, you know, 160, it's a lot better fighters at 160 than it is at 168. If I say that shit, some of you on here want to say I'm race baiting. Some of you on here want to say I'm a piece of garbage or I'm an animal, right? That shit ain't right. That shit ain't right. That shit is showing your bias. When some of you claim to be so unbiased, you claim to be objective. But your lack of objectivity is showing because you don't want to criticize fighters that you support. And that shit is not right. My opinion, as it always has been, is that boxing should come first. Seeing great fights should come first. And this notion that a fighter is so great, a fighter is doing so much that he doesn't deserve criticism, that shit is dead to me, bro. That shit don't make any sense. And you can't make it make sense. Because every time you try, it's going to show that you just trying to take up for your favorite fighter, bro. And we got to stop that. Like, you got to learn to separate the two. Like, did Canelo Alvarez put on a great performance against Billy Joe Saunders? He got the W. He was winning the fight. I'm not buying into this whole shit that Billy Joe Saunders was about to win the fight and he was leading. No, bro. Canelo was breaking his ass down. And although Billy Joe quit on the stool, Canelo Alvarez was about to knock his ass out in the 9th round anyway, bro. And he still get credit for Billy Joe quitting. He knocked his ass out. He deserves credit for that. Canelo Alvarez is a 3-belt champion in the 168-pound division. He is about to go for undisputed. If he accomplished that, that would be an amazing feat. That would be great. That will be something that he deserves credit, props, and admiration for. But what he also deserves, and what is also true, and what some of you aren't objective enough and real enough to admit, is he also deserves some questions for his behavior at 160. He also deserves some questions for his behavior at 175. He also deserves for us to look at him and say, look, man, you already kind of avoided the whole Charlo Andrade thing. We want you to clean that up. You know, you kind of already waited for Benavidez to have to drop the belt before you really put that energy towards going towards undisputed at 168. We still want to see you fight David Benavidez. We still got some questions of you. It's like some of you guys don't want us to have questions or don't want us to expect greatness from Canelo Alvarez, bro. Like, nah, bro, I want him to be as great as possible. Like, it's the same thing with any other sport, bro. Like, it's like Patrick Mahomes, bro. Like, oh, well, he made it to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Nah, bro, he lost. He deserves criticism for that, no matter how great he is. LeBron James, probably the second greatest basketball player of all time in some people's eyes, at least top 5. He gets criticism for those finals losses, bro, when he comes up short. And these are dudes that are, especially LeBron James, he's considered far greater at his sport than Canelo Alvarez is at his sport, and he's not above criticism. So how the hell can Canelo Alvarez be above criticism if we still can criticize LeBron James? If some people still criticize Michael Jordan? If some people still criticize Kobe Bryant for his shortcomings when he was playing in the NBA? That's the difference between boxing and these other sports, bro. That's the difference between boxing fans and sports and these other fans. It's like some of you guys are so fanboyish. Some of you guys are so just in love with a fighter, bro, that if anybody criticizes him, if anybody says anything negative about him, whether it's true or not, because I only speak facts, bro. I only speak facts. If somebody speaks a fact about your favorite fighter that's negative, you go to attacking them. You go to attacking their character. You go to attacking them with insults and shit. And that shit ain't right, bro. Just because I'm not all the way blowing Canelo like some of y'all, bro, don't mean I'm a hater. Just because I actually want him to truly be extraordinarily great, even greater than he already is, that don't make me a hater. Because I want to see him test himself against competitive fighters, bro. Because I would have much rather see him take on Andrade than fight Rocky Fielding, right? Because I'd much rather see him fight David Benavidez than fucking Callum Smith, right? Because I'd much rather see him fight Jamal Charlo than Liam Smith. That don't make me a hater, bro. That make me a boxing fan. So y'all need to cut this shit out. Because this whole energy towards him not being able to be criticized and he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, bro, miss me with that. There isn't a single fighter that's above criticism that's ever fought. You can pick these guys apart. You can pick their resumes apart. You can talk about them in the ring. All of them have weaknesses. To this day, there has never been a perfect fighter. Never, bro. And there never will be. Because at the end of the day, athletes are humans, bro. At the end of the day, fighters are humans, bro. So they're not going to be perfect. And Canelo ain't perfect. So get that shit out y'all head, bro. And miss me with that whole I'm this and I'm that or whatever because I offer a fair criticism of him. Because at the same time, I'm real enough to let you know, bro, he great. Extraordinary head movement. Best resume in boxing if your name ain't Manny Pacquiao. Right? Extraordinary counterpuncher. The moment's never too big for him. He's used to these big fights. He showed up and showed out against Billy Joe Saunders. But he also didn't show any energy towards Undisputed until he got to an easier weight class, bro. That's just a fact. So miss me with all of this shit, bro. Y'all need to keep it real. Because you ain't. You fake. You phony. And your bias is showing, bro. Cut that shit out, man. It ain't good for boxing. It ain't good for this community. And all you do is protect your favorite fighter from fighting a great fight. Keep this shit a buck, bro. Keep it a buck. Y'all all know. Everybody knows, bro. Canelo Alvarez versus Andrade, or Canelo Alvarez versus Benavidez, or Canelo Alvarez versus Charlo, or Canelo Alvarez versus Bivol, or Canelo Alvarez versus Beterbiev. Those are all better fights than Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe. Those are all better fights than Canelo Alvarez versus Callum Smith. Those are all better fights than Canelo Alvarez versus Liam Smith. Those are all better fights than Canelo Alvarez versus Rocky Fielding. Those are all better fights than Canelo Alvarez versus Avni Yildirim. Get off that fanboy shit, man. That shit whack. And you whack. If that's how you moving. Point blank period, bro. No fighter's above criticism. And I criticize them all equally. I ask you, if there's a fighter that you think I haven't criticized, go check out my content on them. Because I believe that when you want great fights, I believe that when you want fighters to be great, you offer up constructive criticism. You let them know, hey man, you great. I rock with you. But here's how I think you need to be moving because I don't like this or I don't like that. But I do like this over here. We gotta, man, y'all gotta do better, bro. Y'all gotta do better, man, on here. Cause I'm not the one, man. I'ma point it out, I'ma call it out, and I'ma make you look bad, bro. And you looking bad out here in these streets, man. If this is how you moving, if you in comment sections, oh, Canelo Alvarez, you shouldn't be criticizing him. He's the greatest ever. Canelo Alvarez, how dare you talk about this? Well, such and such and such and such didn't do this either. He's doing something nobody else has done right now. Still ain't good enough to me. Because I want great fights. And he ain't fighting the fighters that I want to see him fight. Still ain't good enough. Oh, Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo is the greatest ever. Nah, bro, Montel is a garbage fight. It's a garbage fight. I'm not trying to hear that, bro. I want him to fight better fights. Well, Andrade, man, he's the boogeyman. He doesn't. No, bro, that's not it. That's not good enough. Fight top fighters. Make sure you put yourself in a position where somebody like Canelo Alvarez can't ignore you if you Demetrius Andrade or Jamal Charlo. And you do that by fighting better fighters while still calling him out. That's all I'm saying, bro. Everybody deserves criticism, man, for something. Even your king, homie. Or your God. Since I'm satanic, I guess Canelo's your God. Anyway, bro, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Be sure to comment down below in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, put your seatbelt on when you hop in my car. If you want to have me hop on a panel, y'all know what to do, man. Knockoutboxer86@yahoo.com is the email. Again, that's knockoutboxer, the number 8, the number 6 at yahoo.com. I appreciate everybody watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And with that, we out here. Peace.